Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, days have been going by fast. Pretty slow day, which is unfortunate. So it's been kind of up to the ups and downs again. All right, so the first thing right here is going to be Nemo's War. This is the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Under the Sea. Sorry, haven't read the book there, but this is going to be based off of all those adventures. So this is the board game. I have not played this one, but this is super popular. It's like an adventure game. You can see like all the little components in the back, or maybe you can't see it on the camera. But yeah, so the unfortunate part of this was just going to be, let me slowly open it up right here. Sorry for being careful. It's just going to be like the empty box right there. No components or anything. I was thinking about what to do with this one, but I thought like the complete game's pretty expensive. I think it's like 50, 60, 70. I haven't looked up recently. It has a nice little insert for someone if they damage their box. This ended up going to a repeat buyer for $11.99 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right, next up was like a really weird one. So this, I already packaged it up. This is I wasn't really sure what it was. It had a company on it. It said Magic Line, LACA, something like that. And I thought this was either a Thai cake pan or a coffin cake pan. Like I literally couldn't tell. Annetta couldn't tell when we were going through this. The only reason why I thought this was a cake pan was because this came from a storage unit of someone that had a bunch of cake pans. There is a little bit of like a dirt and dust on the side that they're gonna have to clean off. I show that in pictures. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. I think it's a tie. I'm just gonna go with the tie. It looks like a tie, but this is like a weird big pan shape. Maybe this is for like an office graduation, something like that. $29.99. So there was a couple others listed. That was very hard to take pictures just because it's like tall and then it's also like thin. So it's really hard to get like good pictures of it. All right, next up is gonna be some Warhammer 40K. These are Chaos Tank. This is just one thing of bits and pieces. So it has like the little fronts to the tank right here, the little spikes and the skulls and the chains. There's some of these little like dragon, space marine, like head, little pieces, accessories. So this is just like a little sprue. This is not the complete thing, but this little sprue for bits and pieces still sold for $14.39. I've been getting really good luck with those bits and pieces. I bought like 2 auctions over the course of like the past year and a half, and I'm still selling them constantly. It was almost like one of the best things I got at the auction. All right, next up is going to be a PC game right here. Great Battles of Rome by the History Channel. A lot of people I like selling the PC games. They like the box versions right here. They like the manual. They like to play the games inside. Pretty cheap. There's like a little like elf in here with a bunch of little options, and then there's some people battling. People like to play these types of games. They end up selling for $10, so nothing too fancy. I just enjoy listing and selling the PC game stuff. I've liked them in the past as well. All right, next up is going to be one of these Transformers. This is like an incomplete one. It's like metal, and it still looks like pretty good quality. It's missing like the back piece right here. This is a let me see if I can pull it up real quick. G1 iron hide right there. My brother gave me a bunch of free Transformer bits and pieces. I did really well with some of them. This one wasn't as crazy as some of the others because it's missing stuff, but still someone's going to complete their toy for $15, or they just like it. You know, sometimes these things complete are really expensive, and sometimes they might have the pieces, or they want to take this one apart and complete another cheap one, and then they get the full figure. People like to mix and match and stuff like that. Oh, that got stuck right there. Next up is going to be 4 pieces for Disney Villainous right here. I think these are the base game pieces. This was an interesting board game by, I think, Ravensburger. This one, like a lot of people would think like, oh, the cover says like, oh, you get to play a Disney villain. It's going to be like kid and family friendly. And it ends up being what I've heard. I've never played it, but I've seen the cards, and it looks like a pretty complex like card game where each villain is going to have their own deck of cards. A lot of words to read, a lot of different rules, and then each villain has their own like victory conditions. So I'm not too sure if this like hit the correct target audience, if that makes sense, because like I feel like this game should have been easier, more simple to play. Like I said, I've never played it though, but I have heard people complain that this game, they would get it, think it's gonna be like a kid-friendly Disney game, and they're like, oh, that game's too complicated, so they end up not playing it. These 4 board game pieces, they do look like cool pieces. They are the villains, sold for $8.99. All right, next up is going to be a Hero Escape. So this is a very old listing. I was super excited with this listing. This is going to be Azumi Samurai right here. This is like the card. This is from like one of the expansions. There's a lot of like the base game Hero Escape stuff you can see. It has this samurai figure right here. People still like the incomplete figures. People will get these huge collections with Hero Escape. They'll set up these huge tile terrains, campaign scenarios. A lot of people like this game. So this has cool 2 things that I remember. The first thing was this was the first time I got a photo box, or I took pictures with a photo box and changed my whole like listing situation. I was like, oh my God, this thing's amazing. I can never list without a photo box. So I remember I used to list like only like a handful of items a day. I would have to wait for like the proper lighting and all that stuff. And I got like the lights that you set up from the sides, and it was just like a hassle. And once I got the photo box, I burned through like a whole bunch of box of HeroScape. And the other cool thing about the HeroScape stuff that we got, even though this figure's incomplete, this was from a long time ago. This sold for $5. It's just one figure, but there's more expensive ones. So we went to a flea market for the first time, and we weren't doing too hot at the flea market, but within like the first 10 or 20 minutes, there was someone that had a bunch of toys. There was some stuff that I saw that I could try to negotiate with. The negotiations weren't working. The person wanted basically like asking price. I'm trying to go there to flip it. Not a big deal. We're about to leave, and then Annetta pointed at like a big box that I had missed. It was just literally a big container. And then she's like, oh, isn't that like HeroScape? And I go, okay, yeah, it is HeroScape. And then the person who wasn't really negotiating with me with the other toys and stuff he came over, he opened it up. He's like, showed me all the things. He's like, oh yeah, there's like this dragon and this thing. I'm like, oh, he doesn't know what this is. I'm like, okay, how much is it? And he's like, $20 for all of it. I'm like, okay, done. So then gave him the $20, got the whole bin. And then Annette and I were like, oh, wow. So we actually just brought it straight into the car. There was over like 100 pieces. There was like terrain pieces. It was like really good deal. It's funny because they weren't negotiating with me for like other basic action figures, but this, they didn't know what it was. But the reason why he probably didn't care, and because HeroScape, the old stuff, the figures, they look like garbage. So like I'm not trying to be offensive, but they look junky like compared to like a metal miniature, a vintage one. So like they always have this like sticker base right here that shows the ground. The paintings, like it's okay, but they literally look like cheap plastic figures. These are actually highly collectible and stuff. So he probably was thinking like, oh, I got these junk looking figures. They do kind of look dopey, but super collectible. They have a bunch of rare expansions. People love playing the game. It's a really popular one. They have new HeroScape stuff now. So that was just Annetta actually saw that one. So that was the only thing we really got from that flea market that day. I think we got a couple other things that we sold, but didn't make too much profit. But the bin of HeroScape was like such a huge win. So we went from getting that bin to I listed the whole thing in one day with the photo box. All right, is that everything? No, there's still a couple other things. Sorry, 1 second. All right, last thing. Yeah, one last thing right here. Herald Volume 2, number 25 magazine. This is a super cool one. You know that we like to get the catalogs for all like the different toys, clothing, fashion. This is for a card game. This is actually for Legend of the Five Rings, like the samurai game, the Clan Wars. There's a lot of like lore to this particular game. If people like Legend of the Five Rings, they love all the different bits of lore that they can read. So yeah, this is a magazine that's going to have a bunch of lore about the game for the role-playing game and the collectible card game. It says up here on top. So that's a super cool piece. I completely forgot I had this one. This is also an old listing, sold for $10.63. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good one.